In the city of Pine Hill, a tragedy unfolded. A middle-aged woman found lifeless in her apartment. Her husband was away at work, and the killer vanished without a trace, leaving detectives grasping for clues. Time was of the essence in this chilling case. The spotlight turned to Daniel Garner, a seasoned architect, married to Linda, and Mark Johnson, a prosperous financial advisor married to Jennifer. This case unfolds as a deeply unsettling tale. Daniel Garner, a man of charisma, enjoyed what many considered an ideal marriage with his wife, Linda. The couple shared a unique bond with Mark Johnson and his wife, Jennifer. Their connection extended beyond simple gatherings, delving into something far more controversial. These couples engaged in an unconventional swapping arrangement, initially all in good fun, but Daniel crossed a line, developing feelings for Jennifer, Mark's wife. Linda, Daniel's wife, noticed his growing attachment to Jennifer, which threatened the boundaries of their agreement. She vowed to confront this breach, unaware of the impending danger. Daniel was a celebrated architect, renowned for his unmatched designs. He shared a seemingly perfect relationship with Linda, a successful and beloved teacher. Linda was admired by colleagues and students alike. They lived in a beautiful apartment on Maple Street, with a garden Linda adored. 5 years earlier, Mark and Jennifer Johnson had made Pine Hill their home. Mark, a financial advisor with a zest for life, was the life of the party. Jennifer, his wife, radiated cheer and beauty, drawing admiration from all who met her. Together, they were the epitome of an enviable marriage. These two couples, intertwined by shared interests, became inseparable, often in each other's company. At gatherings, Mark was the party animal, ensuring there was never a dull moment. Jennifer matched his energy with her own cheerful disposition. Her allure captivated everyone, making her a magnet for friendship. The couple's vibrant personalities made their bond seem unbreakable. They shared common interests and characteristics, which solidified their attachment to each other. Then, a seemingly silly idea emerged during one of their wine-fueled hangouts. Someone suggested they swap wives, perhaps in a search for thrill. Surprisingly, the idea wasn't dismissed, but embraced as an adventure. Although initially attributed to the intoxication of red wine, the idea resurfaced over the following weeks, gaining traction. It wasn't official yet, but the reckless notion lingered, setting the stage for events that would soon spiral out of control. The two couples, eager to explore new boundaries, swiftly reached a mutual agreement, setting the stage for an uncharted journey. Their initial encounters felt strange, yet thrilling, like an experimental escapade, but as time passed, it became a regular ritual. This new routine brought unexpected joy and stability, strengthening their bonds as they began to share almost everything together. They embarked on getaway trips, hosted joint parties, and guarded each other's secrets fiercely, never speaking of these events beyond their homes. However, the seemingly perfect arrangement started to unravel when Daniel's interest in Jennifer grew beyond the agreed boundaries. Daniel's intentions became clear as he sought every opportunity to be near Jennifer, a change noticed by Linda, who initially dismissed it. Mark too sensed this shift, but both spouses believed it to be a fleeting obsession, something that would fade with time. They were mistaken. Daniel's thoughts became consumed with Jennifer as he drifted further from his marriage, fixating on her as his sole desire. Unaware of the consequences of his inappropriate cravings, Daniel viewed Jennifer as a breath of fresh air, his obsession interfering with daily life. This unhealthy fixation grew, unnoticed by Daniel, but it was becoming evident to those around him as he deteriorated further. He devised ways to be near Jennifer, attempting to insert himself into her life, a shift that did not go unnoticed by Linda. She attributed it to the excitement of their new adventure, hoping it would pass, but Daniel's obsession only deepened. His constant talk of Jennifer, her likes and dislikes, coupled with irritation when apart, prompted Linda to confront him. Daniel dismissed her concerns as jealous imaginings, prompting Linda to step back to avoid disrupting their newfound dynamic. Yet, she remained vigilant, as Daniel's behavior grew more concerning, his eyes lingering on Jennifer, hinting at his escalating emotions. Initially flattered, Jennifer soon became uncomfortable with Daniel's increased attention, aware that his feelings were spiraling out of control. His attachment to their moments together clouded his judgment, causing him to lose sight of their original agreement as his desires took over. In their private moments, Daniel's touch betrayed emotions far deeper than a fleeting affair. Jennifer, now uneasy, confided in her husband, Mark, seeking solace. Mark dismissed her concerns, attributing Daniel's behavior to an overly expressive nature. Yet, clarity dawned during one of their retreats when Daniel's intentions became undeniable. Daniel demanded time alone with Jennifer, much to the apprehension of Mark and Linda. Despite her attempts to evade, Daniel's persistence and pressure left Jennifer with little choice. In a bold revelation, Daniel expressed his desire to create a new life with Jennifer, away from Mark's watchful eyes. His words crossed boundaries, unsettling Jennifer profoundly. As Daniel declared his intentions, Linda, eavesdropping, absorbed the unsettling truth. Jennifer, consumed by unease, excused herself, seeking refuge from the tension. Seizing a moment, Linda confronted Daniel about his infatuation. Though hesitant to deny, Daniel refrained from admitting his obsession, leaving Linda in turmoil. Linda's frustration grew as Daniel's obsession deepened. She feared the inevitable impact on their marriage, yet her love for him endured. Daniel's fixation escalated, intruding into Jennifer's daily life beyond their planned encounters. His presence even invaded her yoga classes, heightening her alarm. Aware of the perils of unchecked obsession, Jennifer confided in a friend. Her fear mounted as Daniel's actions grew more unpredictable. A friend advised Jennifer to distance herself from Daniel, hoping to quell his obsession. Jennifer, heeding this counsel, decided to terminate their meetings entirely. An urgent business trip for Mark left Jennifer alone. With hopes of evoking reason in Daniel, she severed their connection, seeking peace in his absence. Sensing an opportunity, Daniel arrived unannounced at Jennifer's door. Despite her shock, she allowed him in, intent on understanding his intentions. Daniel laid bare his feelings, urging Jennifer to join him in a new life, far from their current ties. As before, Jennifer refused, reiterating their boundaries. Her firm stance, driven by fear of losing her marriage and friendship, led Jennifer to declare the end of their arrangement. Daniel's pleas fell on resolute ears. Determined to avoid him, Jennifer informed Linda, who already suspected the truth. Torn between love and loyalty, Linda vowed to address the issue with Daniel. Though Linda knew of Daniel's obsession, her heart ached with conflict. She promised to discuss the matter with him, yet Daniel's feelings only intensified. Daniel persistently appeared at Jennifer's workplace, determined to sway her. Jennifer, feeling increasingly unsafe, decided to confront him, emphasizing the seriousness of his demands. Once more, she firmly reiterated the termination of their arrangement, urging Daniel to act appropriately. His rejection fueled a growing rage, leading him to hurl accusations at her. Among his accusations were claims of being misled and abandoned. Jennifer, steadfast in her decision, insisted on ending things. Unbeknownst to Daniel, Linda had followed him and witnessed everything. From her vantage point, Linda saw the painful reality unfold, witnessing her husband desperately seek the affection of another woman. Realizing the need for immediate action, Linda understood that Daniel's inability to accept rejection was fueling a dangerous anger. As Jennifer stood her ground, Daniel's verbal abuse escalated, hinting at the possibility of something drastic. At this critical moment, Linda emerged from her hiding spot, calling out to Daniel. The sight of his wife jolted him back to reality, leaving him overwhelmed with confusion and shock. Seizing the moment, Jennifer quickly escaped, while Linda comforted her husband, urging him to remain calm and find a way to move forward. Yet, the full extent of Daniel's obsession soon surfaced, leading to a decision that would bring profound sorrow. The dramatic encounter continued to haunt him. The harsh rejection and the presence of his wife plunged Daniel into chaos and anger. Linda tried her best to manage the situation, despite her own emotional turmoil. Daniel, however, was beyond reasoning. His emotions consumed him, causing a deterioration that led him to abandon work, spending his days fixated on Jennifer's rejection. Linda, grappling with her own frustrations and fears about the future, was unaware of the looming events that none of them were prepared to face. Meanwhile, Jennifer had moved on, focusing on her marriage and career, choosing not to disclose the depth of Daniel's obsession to Mark, perhaps to avoid conflict. She hoped that ending their arrangement would suffice, unaware of the growing storm. Despite Linda's efforts to bring Daniel back to his senses, Jennifer once returned home to find him waiting, his desperation unmistakable, filling her with dread. Jennifer's voice trembled as she pleaded for him to leave, but reason eluded him. Her urgency to escape the situation intensified with each passing moment. Jennifer attempted to walk past Daniel, trying to ignore him. In a shocking turn, he gripped her hand with fierce intensity, rage burning in his eyes, intent on causing her pain. Jennifer's voice rose almost to a scream from the agony she felt. A concerned neighbor, hearing her cries, came to investigate, but Daniel had already fled the scene. Seizing the moment, Jennifer ran inside for shelter. She immediately called Linda, hoping to resolve the matter without involving the police. Linda assured Jennifer she would visit the next day, suggesting they meet at a cafe to discuss Daniel's increasingly erratic behavior. Jennifer recounted the ordeal to an agitated Linda, who knew this couldn't continue. Linda tried to calm Jennifer and promised to talk to Daniel, hoping to curb his actions. Returning home, Linda confronted Daniel about the night's events. Daniel, deflecting blame, accused Linda of conspiring against him, calling her a traitor. Fearing escalation, Linda quickly withdrew her accusations for her own safety. With the situation spiraling, Daniel's mind grew darker, unable to handle rejection. A disturbing thought took root in Daniel's mind. To feel better, he must eliminate the source of his pain. In his twisted logic, it was either having Jennifer or having no one. On a cold night, with Mark away on a trip, leaving Jennifer alone, Daniel seized the opportunity and made his way to her house. There she lay, peaceful and unaware, fueling Daniel's rage. Jennifer awoke to find Daniel standing over her and tried to scream and resist. Daniel silenced her attempted scream with his hand, wielding a kitchen knife. In a brutal act, he plunged it deep into her chest. Jennifer died instantly. Daniel, in utter confusion, fled the scene, perhaps realizing the gravity of his actions only afterward. His first destination was home. Linda found him there, stained with blood, a state that revealed he had committed something terrible. Realizing what he had done, she sought to help him cover it up. Despite the implications, Linda acted to erase any evidence. She instructed Daniel to shower and meticulously cleaned any traces of blood that could incriminate him. She demanded Daniel recount the events precisely as they happened. He obliged, reciting the events as they unfolded. Linda crafted a story for them to use if confronted. To solidify their alibi, Linda called a friend, claiming Daniel had been with her all day. She drove a considerable distance to dispose of the incriminating clothes. In a calculated move, she burned the clothes, ensuring no trace would lead back to them, as the chilling cover-up continued. As investigators pieced together the mystery, they found remnants of blood-stained items, which could implicate the perpetrators. The police, driven by a relentless mission, sought to unravel the tragic events. In their quest for answers, detectives interrogated all potential witnesses. Daniel, although visibly agitated, skillfully evaded suspicion, leaving both detectives and onlookers none the wiser. Withdrawing from friends and family, Daniel's behavior stirred suspicion. Meanwhile, Linda maintained a composed exterior, prudently navigating the unfolding drama, ever vigilant to new developments. Linda's alertness was paramount, her intent to avoid being caught off guard. She was the steadfast pillar of support, yet she knew they required more than a plausible story to divert attention. Linda advised Daniel to feign devastation over Jennifer's loss, a tactic to allay suspicion. Her strategic thinking aimed to shield them from further scrutiny. Daniel played his part convincingly, expressing fond memories of Jennifer, masking his true involvement. Mark, Jennifer's grieving husband, was deceived by the charade, grateful for Daniel's apparent concern. However, beneath the facade, Daniel's mental state unraveled. Haunted by hallucinations and nightmares, he turned to alcohol, a pattern that alarmed Linda. Aware of his vulnerability, Linda vigilantly monitored him, fearing he might confess in a drunken stupor. Daniel's depression and guilt weighed heavily, confided only to his wife. Linda proposed a temporary escape from town to alleviate the mounting tension. This respite proved beneficial, allowing Linda to prepare for the inevitable questions. Meticulously, she coached Daniel on police interrogations, ensuring his responses were seamless. Her determination to protect their lifestyle drove her relentless efforts to keep the truth hidden. Though still burdened, Daniel managed to project stability. Yet his drinking habits aroused suspicion, whispering doubts among onlookers. Linda endeavored to extinguish the rumors, but the truth loomed ever closer. Detective Mitchell began questioning the couple, seeking any inconsistencies that might reveal their guilt. Linda's performance during interrogation was flawless, while Daniel struggled, adhering to the script she had drilled into him. Detective Mitchell, however, saw through Daniel's facade, suspecting foul play. Weeks of investigation only deepened his resolve to uncover the truth. Evidence soon surfaced, shedding light on Daniel's involvement. Forensic analysis of Jennifer's phone revealed a series of disturbing messages which pointed directly to his culpability. Daniel was consumed by obsession, his unrequited feelings spiraling into a deadly resolve. In a tense atmosphere, he was summoned for further questioning, his composure strained as he struggled to maintain his facade. Yet, as more evidence surfaced, the pressure mounted. A crucial piece of information emerged, setting the stage for the truth to unravel. On that decisive day, Daniel parked his car outside, ready to carry out his grim plan. A vigilant neighbor, recognizing his vehicle, noted Daniel's peculiar behavior on the day of the murder, prompting the police to secure a search warrant. With hopes pinned on uncovering the truth, the police executed the search. They discovered remnants of burnt clothing and traces of Jennifer's blood, evidence that shattered Linda's attempts to conceal the crime. The evidence was irrefutable. From the charred clothing to the bloodstains, eyewitness testimonies and phone records, all pointed to Daniel as the sole perpetrator. Daniel, crumbling under the mounting evidence, faced Detective Mitchell's relentless pressure. It was only a matter of time before he succumbed. Finally, Daniel confessed, recounting how his obsession led him to a loss of control, culminating in the horrific act. His confession was comprehensive, implicating his wife, Linda. Linda was immediately brought in for questioning once more. Initially, she denied any involvement, clinging to her story. However, confronted with the detailed account of Daniel's confession, she realized her charade was over. She admitted to aiding Daniel out of loyalty, fearing the collapse of their life together. The end had come for the couple. They faced charges in a case that captivated the public, drawing crowds eager for the verdict in Jennifer's brutal murder. Daniel received a life sentence without parole for his direct role, sealing his fate. Linda, due to her cooperation, was sentenced to 15 years, with parole possible after a decade. Meanwhile, Mark Johnson, Jennifer's husband, was left devastated, forced to muster the strength to rebuild his life after the tragedy. If you found this story compelling, please like this channel, subscribe, and share your thoughts in the comments below.